Okay, I'm gonna try to try to live stream. So I'm gonna try to do. I don't know. I just went out for a walk and I got some caffeine for the first time in a few days. So I feel like I can probably do this. But I don't know. I feel like every time I come home, I guess I feel anxiety. It doesn't here. I feel it, and I also felt that in Minnesota. Um, and I just did a long thread about agentic commerce. Um, Although I realized just now that one of the things I meant to do uh, was to focus on finding people that are already offering like a package uh, to set up your agentic commerce for you, and that to build a directory of these people and contact them and try to resell their services. And I kind of completely forgot about that and um, just just went into the technicals of it, which I do wanna understand the technicals of it. I don't really wanna set about to set it up for myself, but I do wanna try to, uh, do that instead of yeah, like, I do wanna understand it, but I think it's more important that I find other people that are already offering, this and then try to resell their services, sort of the exact opposite angle of what I did before. Although I did also I've been realizing the last it's just sort of like I I don't know, this is kind of an aside. Before I say that, um, I also hope that I remember to, the whole idea I realized is that what I should do is at the end of the stream, I should set the title and the description. So just for my own being able to find if I'm looking for a specific stream or looking for, because this is for documentation purposes mainly. So I should, but yeah. So what was the thing I was about to say? Oh, that the thing is like when you're coding well, like when you're coding as well as a full-time programmer would, then it's feasible to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a prototype and then try to sell it." But like if you're slowing down below that level, either because you don't have time or context switching is taking up too much time or you don't know how to do it, then it becomes impossible to even make hypothetically in your head how that's going to work. So I don't know. That's just something I've been. It's relevant to every single thing I've been doing over the last 3 years. It's just like when I'm coding really well, but if I even like have to, I don't know, if I even have to explain myself to people a couple times, or if I have to switch in and out of that mode, if I have to go out and talk to people or whatever, then it automatically like the projection in my head in terms of whether or not this is feasible ends up it's like, okay, it's not feasible now. Anyways, so yeah, I really need to try to build a directory primarily, but I also have a new idea. The whole idea is, I mean, it's not really new because I've been doing it already, but the whole idea is kind of like from now on, my live streams are just going to be me reading my thread saved. And with the agentic commerce or the drones, because that's what's newest, but I just want to, I don't want to get into a situation where I'm making new threads on the top and I'm never getting through the old ones. So I'm going to kind of try to force myself to start at the beginning here to start as far back as I can. Probably unnecessary because I don't know. It's been kind of a long time since I went through a lot of these, and okay, it looks like this is my first bookmark. The 10 most popular subtopics related to chatbots are. So that's setting up my my content for a chatbot sales. if you wanna get a lot of followers, you know what? I don't care to get a lot of followers. I truly it doesn't seem to matter to me. And I guess the whole thing about like, if you're coding fast, which I'm not even coding lately, but the way I'm doing things right now, the way I'm, like, researching and then never breaking context in my own brain, like, as soon as I wake up, I get right back to it, and I do it until I have to pass out again. Um, the way I'm doing things, it's like this I'm learning things is such that, you know what, I kinda wanna yeah, I wouldn't mind having a chat available, but I kinda wanna have the full screen available to me. Just don't want my own stream off on the side. Okay, anyways. So, what was I just saying? I have no idea what I was just about to say. Um, okay, so these ones were just because I wanted to copy this style of image on Sora. What time is it? It's 9:02. Use the endless articles and videos about how to sell SEO services and turn it into okay, that's still kind of a good idea. Kind of. I'd have to be looping back around to making chatbots in that case at this point. Differences between custom-made chatbot using code and API go high level. Okay. Demo of Convo works. Yeah. A reminder to fix this broken review bot. I actually only want to talk to businesses with people, but I avoid talking to actual business people about business because I think I have to be perfect for them. Yeah, that is kind of true. Hopefully tomorrow I can try to make contact with some businesses. I think that's kind of an important habit to have. And I honestly think it's like better if I'm like I remember I made one video one time where it was like I was calling Australia because, it was the middle of the night in America and I was calling SEO companies and I was like even though I'm like pretending to pitch them or whatever, like in reality I just want to talk to somebody and the only thing I want to talk about is SEO. So I honestly feel like that's like a good mentality to have. Oh yeah, the whole British pubs thing. Okay. All right, I have my audio back. I don't know how much of the audio I lost there. Hope it wasn't too much, but what I was saying was, yeah, if I can make these threads, especially like the one I did today on agentic commerce, make it a live stream, and then I can take the live stream and have Gemini summarize it and turn that into a blog post. So it's like a really great work process overall. Zing my order, something I wanted to remember about. That's just a joke. I don't know why I saved that. Also don't know why I saved that. Oh, oh, good. I thought I lost audio again, but I didn't. Your only goal of getting traffic these days is to find people that already have traffic and craft the perfect piece of content for them. That would also get you backlinks, wouldn't it? Started using the same format for my AI prompts, using JSON prompts. That's interesting because it's way back then. And I started doing that at one point, but it was way later and after I completely forgot about this. 3 different keyword research strategies, chatbot that can schedule email reminders. Okay, yeah, there's a lot here that I'm not gonna try to I don't wanna have to I don't wanna try to parse these all on, on a live stream. I'm gonna parse them another time, probably when I'm not on live stream, because that would just ruin it. It needs to be like a unbroken. But yeah, that, agentic commerce one was so, like it's so many of the things that I thought about when I first started thinking about GEO and, like, the whole, like, handing things off from the whole the handoff that, like, oh, you can maybe there would be a way to, like, take the context, from the chat with the LLM and bring it into the chatbot on your website. Apparently, the Universal Context Protocol actually a lot has that, but you have to set up an API and an MCP, and obviously you have to have a working API account, uh, which I do not have. But hopefully, if I find other people that are offering this, that does not matter. Read the book Profit First. Okay, here is a thread, and I'm not sure if I've already done this thread on live stream or not, but for whatever reason, it is still bookmarked. So let's go through it. And again, it is also good to, I mean, a lot of things, everything here in Taiwan is like, um, it's just really good to remind myself of what my life was like in America. Because sometimes I'm just sort of like, why am I here again? Or like the initial excitement of being here is worn off. Or it's just sort of like, it's kind of awkward in a way because I'm just not plugged into anything here. Uh, and but then it's like you have to remember that like I couldn't even do what I'm doing right now in America. Like I couldn't even do it because I was so and I mean I was just so high on secondhand smoke for one thing, and just panicking constantly, like a permanent panic attack, and had issues with drug addiction, and I feel like I'm missing something. Many other things. It makes way more sense for me to be here, even if I die here, it makes way more sense. But yeah, that is something that's on my mind at this moment in time because this whole, I had like my own little emotional drama, I suppose, with the whole thing with Xi Jinping. Because at first it seemed like Zhang Youxia had successfully like evaded capture, and that he was gonna, basically the people. This is like, the people that got all excited, the Putin haters. Not that I love Putin or anything, but the Putin haters, when they got all excited about that like mutiny or whatever happened with that one guy, and then Putin eventually had him murdered, and it was just like, okay, that was never going to be a. And now it's like John Yashar is the she haters version of that. It's like for a minute I was like, oh, oh, good, like he's going to take him out, or like there's going to be Frozen. But I feel like now actually it really seems more and more like what happened was she wants to attack Taiwan, and all of the generals know it's a terrible idea, and she does not give a fuck that it's a terrible idea. He's going to do it anyways, and he needed to get rid of everybody that was telling him it's a bad idea. It seems like that. So it went from something where it was like this amazing hope to like, oh shit, things maybe are worse than ever. Okay, I think this thread, I is specifically this one that I wanted to remember. Just that, just the tip that you can see exactly what words ChatGPT uses to search. Which it's weird because when I'm using ChatGPT in English, it always shows the search terms in Chinese. I don't know why. Can I be the Taiwan SEO agency I'm looking for? Maybe. Let's see here. This is the beginning of a thread, and I bookmarked it, so let's take a look at it. Oops, I'm not sharing the screen. That's a problem. This is going to cost me. Okay. Hello. All right. I think I still have audio. Right. Using multi-curl to get one answer from the knowledge bot and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Right now, I'm so far from developing chatbots. I it's quite possible I'll circle back around to it. Whatever I'm doing, it always seems like it's an endless rabbit hole, but sooner or later it dries up and then I move along. But both of the agentic commerce and the drones are both good things. I don't know, they're good things. And then making a knowledge bot into a sales bot, making them more Chinese language friendly. Yes, the graphs, get the graphs, send a video, call, follow up, discuss a white label arrangement. Okay, got it. So that one was sort of a redux on the chatbots, the whole chatbot plan. How do I do SEO if my niche is SEO agencies? This is sort of like the SEO flywheel. This is like the core of the SEO flywheel right here. If you ask that question, it leads to all the other things. And then if Google didn't exist, you would still want pillar page. I mean, you'd want your, even if there was no such thing as Google, you would want for your website to be organized in such a way that it's clear to the outside world, including to machines, what you are and what services you offer, and what is the intersection between the whole entire universe and you or your business, anyways. And you would want to have blog posts as updates. So sort of like what I've read recently, it's people are saying like the best way to improve your SEO is just to improve your business, but then document it in an organized fashion. Okay, I'm not 100% sure that I have a system here because I both have already gone through these, I think, and I don't really want to unbookmark them. Here's a keyword to target AI tools SEO agencies are using in 2026. Feeling like I'm having difficulty breathing. I really shouldn't have restarted smoking. I stopped smoking and I should have kept it that way. Okay, here's questions to use when I'm preparing for a graph for a company. I still haven't really looked at those questions. I haven't been doing graphs. I'm pretty sure I'll get back into it because I do intend to build directories for SEO agencies, directories for 3D printing companies, directories for drone companies. And so once I'm building those directories, I'm probably going to want to put them in JSON, put each item in JSON format. And once I put each item in JSON format, I'm probably going to want to use these questions to make sure that it covers everything, I suppose. Here's an SEO workflow that somebody posted, and I thought it was a good idea. All right, here's just a note about a way to upgrade the blog posting bot. Recursive metacognition prompting. Break complex problems into smaller pieces, check answers from multiple perspectives, score confidence on every claim, reflect and fix weak reasoning, only commit when confidence is high. Here's the full prompt you can copy. Adopt the role of a metacognitive reasoning expert. For every complex problem, decompose, break it into subproblems, solve, address each with explicit confidence, zero point 0.0 to 1.0, verify, check logic, facts, completeness, and bias, synthesize, combine using weighted confidence, reflect. If confidence is less than zero point 0.8, identify weaknesses. I mean, this is very much just another way of doing chain of thought, possibly a better way of doing chain of thought. But at the same time, it's like, okay, but you realize that you could set up a structured output that goes through this step by step instead of just using this prompt in a, I don't know. I suppose if it's a reasoning model, then it can take as many turns as necessary to go through each step. So, but for me, like it's just so rare that there's a one prompt where it's like, oh, I want you to do this one. No, it's like there's a whole, typically it's a conversation. It is a conversation. That's the way I prompt. I have big old conversations and then I take from the conversation. And I mean, it's never ever a thing where I give it one prompt and I expect one output and then that's the end. Like all of the steps that we're doing is like, yeah, but I do that, but with the LLM together. Not entire. I honestly, on some level, I just don't understand how MCPs work, which is still the issue. Okay, this is at the end of a thread. Business can claim an AI agent in the merchant center. This is like I covered that so thoroughly in the most recent in the agent thread, but I must have already read through this thread on a live stream because otherwise it would be bookmarked very likely. Your value proposition isn't something you figure out in a boardroom and announce. It's built by listening to what your customers actually say about you and then testing it until it sticks. Great. Um, this is kind of shit, this setup, I gotta say. Like being in this room with no windows and everything echoes a lot. And then I've got the headphones on that like block out. I don't know. It's just the whole thing is kind of, it just makes me feel like I can't talk normally, but that's okay. That is okay. I really don't care how I'm coming off. Uh, and if I talk softly, that's totally fine. All the times I've tried to listen to it, it's all been coming through very clearly. And the whole point here is not to be a super engaging personality. It is just to read the things that I wrote. Just stick to the facts. Okay, I'm getting real close to up to date here. Oh yeah, that's another the daily specials and weekly events. That's another directory. A chatbot should start as a blog. I think I meant to say a directory because, Tool vendors must shift towards offering APIs and MCP servers to allow agencies to integrate proprietary data. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is the beginning of an SEO thread, and I really feel like I've already done this SEO thread on a live stream, but I didn't unbookmark it, so we're gonna do it again apparently. Um, the fact that on this thread I'm talking about like going to the night market and drinking and talking to women, again, it just makes me think it's like when you're in the state of mind that I'm in right now, where it's like all I've done for a week is just work and sleep and work and sleep. You start to think like you project that speed outward, and now like everything seems possible. But if I crash out at some point, then I'm like, oh shit! Not only do I have to like recover, but then once I'm recovered, I have to like slow down so as to not crash out again. Then it's like all the things, all the possibilities seem significantly less. But that said, I don't know. I feel like I'm coming to the end of a lot of things. Like I'm getting to the bottom of a lot of things here. So, and even like the drones, which I just started today, but I feel like, yeah, again, it's about the speed you're going. At the speed I'm going with the drone situation, like it's only going to take me 3 days to like be up and running. Anthropic faced backlash for banning users who use their API keys in third-party coding tools. And OpenAI capitalized by announcing support for those same tools. That's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, I definitely did do this one in a live stream before because I remember talking about the Lacoon thing. OpenAI is bleeding cash. Also, like in turn again, talking about the speed thing, like even the ones that are like on topic are not like they're not like as useful as they can possibly be, which I feel like my threads from today were. Okay, Google ranks pages instead of sites, so make sure to have schema on each page. Use directories to generate leads and then sell the leads to businesses. See how fast that was compared to the last time I talked about it. Developers often struggle to find real world problems to solve and lack distribution. That is the problem. But again, if you start talking to people, then you're going slow. So that's another, it's the opposite problem, but it's also a big problem. Dig is providing do follow links. You know, I know I've looked this up a million times before, but what is the difference to follow? I thought I could get a thing to get it to read it for me. They pass PageRank link juice to the destination website, boosting its SEO ranking authority, whereas no follow links instruct search engines not to pass authority or influence rankings. No follow links are used for untrusted content, paid links, or to comply with search engine guidelines. Use indexing tools like index checks or rapid URL indexer to ensure Google crawls and lists your dig posts immediately. Good to know. Link your different dig communities and posts to each other to compound authority before linking to your money pages. I wonder if anybody thinks, hey, if Dig is such a SEO goldmine, maybe what would be good is to just create content that will actually do well on Dig. Is that too difficult to be worth doing? I have to actually listen to this because Gemini refuses to. I bet you anything that Gemini will not refuse now because it's just a live stream. And because it is a live stream, it takes a couple days to process usually. But now it's been a couple days, so I can get the summary. Nope, I cannot. Damn. And then it didn't give me the right. Well, I wonder if it has a good description at this point. Today's guest made a contrarian bet with his acquisition. He bought an SEO agency. The perception is that traditional search engine optimization is very much in flux as ChatGPT changes consumer. I actually did listen to this already. I don't know what to say about that. It was interesting. Okay. I think I can unbookmark it. Okay, so let's see here. Here's the thread from. Here's one from 122. Here's one from 121. Oh, this is the one that was in Chinese a lot. That'll be fun. Wednesday, January 21, GEO notes thread. I wonder if I could do this in inverted mode. Uh, kind of. Now I should turn off the lights to save my eyeballs. Begin with the normal mode here. Okay, so if OpenAI can match Meta's average revenue per user, they could generate an additional 57 billion annually from ads alone. So now like the more recent ones, what I've been doing is focusing on SEO first and like getting the solid SEO information in the thing first, and then moving on to like reg and stuff like this. And I think that's a better way to do it. So it's kind of annoying to have to go through all of these in this order now, but whatever. OpenAI 会观察哪些应用在增长，然后直接复制这些功能，并将其整合进自己的生态系统。OK，广告效果在几天内就能显示，反馈周期快。多数中小企业已经在使用付费广告。I kind of feel like I just posted this stuff because it was in Chinese. Like if I was in English, I would have been like, yeah, I don't, that's not like that useful information for me. But I was like just sort of punting it off until now to process it. Anyways, 获取流量，转化前客，你只需告诉他们，我能帮你优化的更好，而不是推销一个全新的、见效慢的 SEO 理念。Okay, so it is a good idea to uh, offer people these ChatGPT ads because you can 多数中央企业已经在使用付费广告。That's because you could just tell them, I'm going to optimize your ads. That is a much more contained thing than trying to provide them an entire SEO package. 不要盲目追随 AI 趋势，要利用 AI 强化你的核心营销能力。在2026年，如果你不能通过 AI 直接为客户创造金钱或大量节省时间，你的大运营你的大运营公司将难以为继。Got it. You need to tell people that either you're going to make them money or you're going to save them time. I don't mind like operating in Chinese. It's fine, but like right now I'm doing things faster in English and it's better to stay that way. Now, at a certain point in time, if I'm talking with people in Chinese a lot, I'm watching a lot of Chinese TV and stuff, then it gets to the point where I like am automatically like repressing my English and speaking in Chinese. And then it's actually more difficult for me to speak in English. It takes more time and effort. And then I speak in Chinese more. So uh, that's that kind of happens naturally here and there. But at this moment, it's kind of just annoying to have to be dealing with this in Chinese, but whatever. Okay，在人际关系和商业中过度紧迫和渴求的能量会显得绝望和饥渴 （needy），这会把潜在客户或者机会推开。相反，当你保持冷静，学会防守时，反而会产生一种吸引力。Got it. Not sure what. Okay, stop explaining it in English. Just 不要试图成为最好的，二要成为用户最喜欢的。衡量指标、风气殊荣指标、点赞、粉丝数，真正值得关注的是非征求性回率。呃 unsolicited response rate，即用户在没有被要求的情况下，主动给你发长邮件和私信分享他们的感受。Honestly, I really feel like I'm burning this whole thread because I'm talking about it at a time when I'm not interested in these topics, and I should just talk about the topics I'm interested in today. The uh, the drones and agentic commerce, and then I should come back to this at a time when I'm trying to remember these things. Damn, this one's long too. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna save it for later. Yeah, I'm not breathing. Keep holding my breath. Oh yeah, the content brief. Content brief is a good idea. Okay, that's fine. That is totally fine. I can come back to this later. Just gonna do the most recent two. Let's just start with this agentic commerce one. I did spend the whole morning working on it, and so I don't know. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, hey, maybe it'd be good to like wait a couple days and then do it because then it will be a reminder of all of these things. Okay, thing number one. Yeah, but like honestly, it's way better if I can just sort of like talk as opposed to reading. I will make your e-commerce store able to accept agentic orders. Yeah, so the whole I mean, that's the thing is as I'm reading this, and I kind of got carried away with it, but like really what I want to do is like just have an offer or make offers or like turn everything into an offer and then go search for people that are already making that offer, kind of, or capable of carrying out the offer, something. Stripe MCP, okay. The Stripe MCP server and SDK provides the infrastructure for an agent to interact with payment systems and product catalogs. The agent uses a client tool redirect to send the user directly to a pre-filled Stripe checkout page once they agree to buy. The MCP server allows the agent to query the actual product list. Here's another offer. I can build an agent that displays your products directly in the chat or voice interface using Shopify's native UI components. Yeah, there's a couple of things like it was sort of weird because I was going back and forth between the UCP and the ACP, the Universal Commerce Protocol and the Agentic Commerce Protocol. Um, and it would be nice if I could just focus on one or the other, but there wasn't even like a clear winner because it seems like the UCP is more useful overall, but that the ACP is easier to set up. So it would be easier to just get going with the ACP. Um, and that's probably the way to do it is just like we'll set up your ACP and like one-time fee. Um, but and again, the real work here is not any of this that's in this thread. The real work is finding people that are able to fulfill that offer. Um, which hopefully won't be me. But if it gets to the point that I can do that easily, like very quickly and easily, then I could do that offer. But I'm not going to like pause everything else and go figure out how to do that before I do anything else. Um, but what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh yeah. So then as I was like getting into this, like halfway through, it was like, oh, then there's this agent to agent. And it's just like, holy shit, I didn't even realize it was like sort of the same thing. Whatever. Okay, let's keep going. So we use the Shopify checkout kit, meaning your store stays secure and compliant while my agent handles the sales. Here is the link to the Universal Commerce Protocol Playground provided by Google. I think you do need a working API account in order to use it. Also, like you need your API endpoints set up on your server. So if you don't have those, then this does nothing for you, I believe. So there's a manifest file. You publicly host the manifest file at yourdomain.com/.wellknown /UCP. The manifest includes links to the official UCP specification and JSON schemas, which are usually hosted on ucp.dev. So the agent knows the exact data. So basically, you have to upload things to ucp.dev. You have to have a file on your domain, upload things to ucp.dev, update your account in the Google Merchant Center. Uh, and then you need this whole manifest. And then you need your API key setup. It's not that simple. And any of those things might turn into like it's like, anytime you're in all coding, it's always like there's two possibilities. One is that it's like, oh, just set up your API endpoints. It's like a one sentence instruction. It's like sounds good. And then when you go look at it, like, oh, that's a 500 step process. And then the other possibility is that it doesn't work and you don't know how long it's going to take you to figure out how to make it work. And it's very frustrating because if it takes a long time, the whole time you're going to be thinking, this shouldn't take this long, right? This should be easy. And a lot of times, I mean, it is easy. It's like any puzzle you try to solve, it's like, it's easy if you know how to solve it. If you don't know how to solve it, obviously you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be even spending any time on it. So when you don't know how to solve it, not only do you not know how to solve it, but you don't know how long it's going to take you to figure it out. Okay, so to allow agents to act for a user securely, you implement the dev.ucp.identity.link capability. This typically uses OAuth 2. Yeah, you got to set up OAuth 2.0, which, by the way, I've never really done. I don't know if I've ever done it successfully. Maybe I have. I think I probably have. But that's pretty fucking complicated in and of itself. But you need that for the UCP. You don't need that for the ACP. Using MCP doesn't mean that you skip the API work. It just changes how you expose the APIs to the AI. You still have to handle identity and security, though UCP helps standardize them. It kind of brings me back to the MCP. I don't really remember that clearly, but I feel like there was some MCP that everybody was like making a big deal out of it. And I was like, dude, I've already done, like, the only thing that you've recreated is like taking the response from the API and running it through an LLM before it gives the response to the LLM, which you can just do with just make another API call. It, but I don't know. It's probably easier, probably. Because of this OAuth link with the UCP, the agent, where's my water? The agent has much more visibility. It can see your previous purchases, preferences, and gift cards. You can give vague commands like buy my usual diapers, and the agent can use that identity to link that identity link to figure out exactly what you mean. Yes, so you can do that in UCP. You can't do that in ACP for now. ACP focuses on guest checkout and is stateless. Super simple offer. Before exposing data to an agent, retailers are focused on catalog enrichment. Okay. So this is an offer. Actually, to be honest, you know what? Well, two things. First of all, that sounds simple, but whether or not it's actually simple depends on how big their catalog is. But I guess you could just charge them per item. Um, so that's good. Charge them per item. And then even simpler would be to to offer a catalog enrichment audit, which is just we're going to look at what data it's exposing for the LLM and let our recommendation for how to enrich it. And then the enrichment is a second step. That is a super simple offer, right? Kind of. I don't know. So the difficult part there is like this. It's like if I'm the one offering that offer, at this moment in time, I actually don't know how to do that. It's probably easy. I mean, it's not that different from these knowledge graphs I've been making. Just looking at their catalog in the form of a knowledge graph. Um, however, if I'm not the one, so on one hand, so it's like again, it's putting some type of learning in front of actually offering the service. Although I could offer it for free. I could offer it for free and give a guarantee of your money back if I can't do the job, and that would honestly be a good thing. It'd be better, honestly, to just offer it for free and then learn how to do it after I get a client. Because getting somebody to agree to let you to offer them a free service is already not that easy. Like you can, it's not that easy. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to put a thing on your website that says, "I give this service for free." Well, guess what? Nobody goes to your website. You're going to cold call people. Okay, well, guess what? They all hang up on you before you even get to your offer. Are you going to do like mass emails and have an agent call a million people? Well, that's all difficult to set up. So, like, just getting somebody to agree to take a free service from you is not that easy. Um, warm leads is probably where it's at. Anyways, so yeah, and so the other option is to, if I'm not the one providing the service, if it's being provided by um, a developer of some sort, it would be super hard to find somebody, I think, that is actually qualified to do this job, but that wants to charge the amount of money. I'm drawing all over my computer. I'm going to take out a piece of scratch paper just so I have something to draw on. So, yeah, do we want to? I mean, it's not that difficult of a job. It doesn't require a huge amount of skill. So, it would be ridiculous to pay somebody a lot of money for it. However, it's to find somebody that can definitely provide this service. Like they wouldn't want to. I mean, why would they want to do it for the amount of money that it is actually worth? Because like it'd be pretty hard to find somebody that just happens to have enough skill to do this job It doesn't have way more skill. Basically, anybody that's going to be able to do this job also has the ability to do much more difficult jobs. And so they're still going to want to get paid the amount they normally get paid for the more difficult jobs. So that's the difficult part. But anyways, okay, so Google has explicitly introduced enhanced food ordering agents that use the UCP to connect restaurant backends with consumer services like Gemini, mobile apps, and even in-car systems. I wonder if I can I'm gonna try on this thread. Oh no, my connection is unstable. Fuck. Hopefully it's this one. It honestly, it blows my mind that like the best way to learn anything, search for it on YouTube and then have Gemini summarize. That's literally the best way to learn anything these days. It blows my mind that that's the way to do it, but it really truly is. Um, Hello, Gemini. Is there a way to access the schema for somebody's product catalog? All right, so that was a terrible way of asking it, but just ask a bad answer, ask a bad question, get a bad answer, move along. So that means that absolutely anybody on the internet can go look up the product catalog schema. Okay, what is an e-commerce website where I can find their manifest? Okay, so according to what Gemini is saying, if it's true, then if I just put in target right here, it will give me the manifest. But I don't know, it's what it's saying now. I feel like what it's saying now is different than what it said before. No, it's not. It's the same. All right, the target did not work. Many retailers only serve the manifest to verified AI users. That's why I got a 404. Let's just go to the Google Merchant Center and see what happens here. Not go to the Taiwanese one. Thanks. Oh, whoops. That's not what I was trying to do. It does not seem to want to let me go to merchants.google.com. What the fuck? It just keeps on automatically pushing me to the Taiwan version, which if it's, I don't care. That's fine. If it's the same. Uh, so I should be able to look up to the Google Merchant Center. Okay, so the answer is no. For retailers to manage their data, not a consumer-facing directory. Let's try it another way. Can you give me a list of URLs that are known Shopify stores? Okay, Gymshark. Let's go. So there's Gymshark, and now we just need to add the dot well-known slash UCP to it. Ha ha ha. Is this a UCP manifest? Does this include their product catalog? I know it doesn't, but can I access this file? So how can I see the Gymshark product catalog? Okay, I'll try this, but it should not work. Should not work. That's a 404. Watch, I'll bet you anything they'll make this the thumbnail right here. Um, since Gymshark runs on Shopify, you can often view a raw data version of their catalog by adding .json to their collections URL. This is effectively the raw feed. I hope this works. Shit. You know what? It still might. God. Okay, we don't know whether that actually is a thing or whether Cloudflare, CloudFront blocked it. Ho ho ho. Once I gave it a limit, it fucking worked. This is pretty sick. You know what I should have done? Huh. Hmm. Had to make a note of that. Okay, so the point here is that so anybody, at least anybody that's on Shopify, anybody that's on Shopify, I can. Well, I shouldn't say anybody because maybe they've blocked this, but you can pull this up and see whether or not their catalog uh, is enriched. Oh, I was not done. Oh my God, I'm still not done. Shit. Did I get I think I got more than one in there. Let us find out. Three unique products. What was the wording I was looking for? Like gotta go way back. Perfect. Catalog enrichment. Um, how is the schema on these items? Could it be enriched? Awesome. Okay, that's the response I was hoping to get. I think just for just for the sake of record keeping, I will have that one read out loud, because this is kind of the whole idea, the simplest ever offer.
The schema for these items is standard Shopify product JSON. It's clean and functional for basic e-commerce, but from a UCP, Universal Commerce Protocol, or AI agent perspective, it is data-rich but insight-poor. Here is an evaluation of the current schema and how it could be enriched to better serve modern AI shopping agents. 1. Current schema assessment. Strengths includes unique IDs, variant-level pricing, SKU mapping, and comprehensive tags, which help with basic filtering like color or activity. Weaknesses. Asterisk unstructured descriptions. The body_HTML is a mess of HTML tags. And AI has to scrape this to understand the material, 100% cotton. Flat tags, activity, color, and fit are all lumped into a single tags array. The system doesn't know that filter color. Blue is a color unless it's programmed to parse that specific string. Missing relationships. It doesn't explicitly link matching sets, even though the tags mention them. 2. How to enrich the schema. To make this data agent ready for the 2026 UCP standard, you would want to move away from flat strings and towards structured linked data. A. Structured attributes, attribute value pairs. Instead of a list of tags, use a dedicated attributes object. This allows an AI to instantly answer specific questions. Example: B semantic CO, JSON LD, enrich the items with link to schema.org vocabulary. Adding a size system, e.g., US, UK, and gender, male, explicitly helps the AI filter results without guessing based on the product_type. C. Visual intelligence, image metadata. The current images array just gives a URL. Enrichment would include alt text, back view of Eagle script graphic t-shirt showing large eagle graphic. Image focus, labeling which images, front, back, detail, or lifestyle. D. The get the look logic. In your provided JSON, there are tags like get the look, B5B5OUD6S. Enrichment. Convert these tags into a recommendations or frequently _bot_ with object containing the actual product objects. This allows an AI to suggest a full outfit in a single response. 3. Comparison. Basic versus enriched. Feature. Current Shopify schema. Enriched UCP schema. Material. Hidden in body_HTML. Explicit material field. Sustainability. Not present sustainability_score origin_country. Sizing. Just a string. Small. Measurements. Chest. 40 inches. Length. 28 inches. Inventory. Boolean. Available. True. Stock_level. 1.5. Helps with urgency. Why this matters for the UCP manifest. Since your manifest uses MCP, Model Context Protocol, the AI agent is looking for tools. If the schema is enriched, the AI can have a tool called filter_by_material, cotton, rather than just doing a keyword search. Would you like me to rewrite one of these items in a fully enriched, agent-ready JSON LD format?
Okay, that's so there we go. That's a perfect thing. Like, you can offer this audit and start by offering it for free, and then if it's working, if people are taking you up on that free offer, you can charge for it. But then the audit is, you offer that, you tell them what you would do, how you would change the schema, and why you think that would help, and then how much you would charge them per item to make those changes. And it's kind of a way to get your foot in the door of agentic commerce. And again, anybody on Shopify, this is an option, I guess. So okay, let's go back to reading through the rest. has expanded UCP to connect with customer services like Gemini, mobile apps, and even in-car systems. UCP allows restaurants to expose their live menu as a capability. This means an AI agent doesn't just read a static PDF, it queries your system for real-time item availability, daily specials, and current pricing. And then this is just my note that I think you could probably put the ingredients in there so that it could answer questions about allergies and diet, or automatically, if it, if it has your, it can know, it has your personal intelligence, so it can know that you're allergic to peanuts, and it can warn you if you try to order something that has peanuts in it as as a ingredient. Early adopters like Papa John's are using these UCP part agents to offer context-aware suggestions. All right. Should we do it? We should not do it. I don't want to do it, but we're going to do it. papajohns.com. So let's just go ahead and change this here Gymshark URL to Papa John's and see whether or not we can get the same thing going. That is going to be a 4.0. papajohns.com. What? Because Papa John's probably not Shopify. So let me just, whoopsies. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, dictation is still not working. What is up with that? I'm trying to get the product list for Papa John's, but they are not a Shopify website, I don't believe. So how would I do that? Why is this giving me so much deja vu? This is giving me crazy deja vu right here. Have I done this before? Okay, we're just gonna not mess with that. Never mind. Okay, ensure your menu data is uploaded via Google Merchant Center feed with the native commerce attribute enabled. Set up 3 core UCP endpoints: session create, update, and complete to handle incoming orders from AI agents. Agentic Commerce Protocol. The open standard code developed by OpenAI and Stripe is also designed to handle complex products like restaurant menus, but it approaches the options problem differently than Google's UCP. In ACP, your menu is part of the product feed spec. Use ACP if you want a faster plug and play setup, especially if you already use Stripe and want your menu to be discoverable by ChatGPT and other third-party AI agents. Open Google AI Studio in the Tools or Extensions sidebar. Click Add MCP Server. Choose Remote Server. paste mcp.stripe.com. Find me a pair of hiking boots under $150 from Shopify store and create a checkout link. Okay, so that's how to do this in Open Google Studio. Probably you can do that in Google AI Studio. I'm going to say you can do that in the platform.openai.com as well, probably. Agents will need access to contextual information, detailed FAQs, shipping details, and return policies. Merchants in the US can already go into their Shopify admin and toggle agents as a sales channel. Even if you don't use Shopify, you can upload your products to the Shopify catalog to participate in these agentic checkout flows. Can you explain what this means? Yeah, I'm asking it what does it mean that you can upload your products? In 2026, the e-commerce landscape shifted search and click to ask and buy. When you see the statement, it refers to a massive re-architecting of Shopify where they decoupled from the winter 26 renaissance. Is this okay? Shopify has launched a specific tier called the Agentic plan. It is designed for merchants who have their own websites but want to use Shopify's intelligence layer. You upload your product list to the Shopify catalog via API or CSV. Once your products are in the catalog, Shopify's specialized LLMs automatically standardize and enrich your data. They turn your messy pizza descriptions into structured data that AI agents can understand. Yes, why would a non-Shopify brand do this? For a brand like Papa John's, migrating their entire website to Shopify would be a billion-dollar headache. By using the Agentic plan, they get the best of both worlds. They can keep their custom website for regular customers, but they outsource the AI shopping part to Shopify. Okay, that is very interesting. So that's another offer that that would be relatively simple, is just to upload your my nose is kind of running. Man, there's a guy at the ATM today that was just like, he's first of all, he's just like, like so hyped to get the money, like just no chill, and then he was just sniffling like crazy and all that. And I was just like, and he's just like vibrating. And I was like, telltale signs. Wonder what's going on there. Because he did not seem to be sick. Uh, There is such a thing as a Shopify word. How do I find somebody? How do I find a business in the Shopify global catalog? I think the answer to the question was you can't really do that. Okay, where were we? The extension system for UCPs is designed to handle things like modifiers, to be able to handle intelligent upselling. Okay, so that's if you're doing this, make sure that your menu data is uploaded via Google Merchant Center feed. I don't know if that, is this part necessary if you are on Shopify? Uh, I don't know what happened there. Radio, I am. Okay, so Shopify is your source of truth where inventory and money live, but Google Merchant Center is the discovery engine where AI learns about your products. Shopify knows that you have a Shakaroni pizza in stock. Google AI needs to know that this pizza is available for immediate pickup at 123 Main Street and is eligible for voice ordering. The native commerce attribute is a specific toggle that tells Google, don't just show this as a search result, allow the AI to actually complete the transaction. Okay, I had to do some editing to fit that into a tweet. Okay, then the role of native commerce attribute, how Shopify merges handles. If you're on Shopify, you don't usually have to manually edit a spreadsheet to do this. You go to the Google and YouTube channel app within Spotify. In the app settings, there's a section for Agentic Commerce or Buy Google. When you enable the Shopify automatically, it appends the native commerce attribute to your feed before sending it to the Google merchants. Okay. So it's just like a setting within your Shopify admins. You don't necessarily have to go sign into Google Merchant Center and make sure everything is correct over there. Google and Shopify formed a commerce union in 2026 to compete with Amazon. Okay, this rabbit hole is truly never ending. Almost 2 hours in, I haven't even started with the drones. Definitely going to make that into a separate live stream. Okay, where was I? Agentic Commerce Protocol, the open standard co-developed by OpenAI and Stripe. Pretty sure I'm way past this. Product information management system is the new source of truth for agents. To enable agentic checkout, your API must cover every single step of the buying journey. If you're missing even one endpoint, like a shipping calculation or tax validation API, the MCP server will break and the agent will be unable to complete the purchase. Wow. Traditional catalogs have limited rows of data, 10 to 20, but to be agent ready, you need 300 to 600 attributes per product. Let's just see, is this the right conversation? Attributes. Okay, so for the product schemas that I posted above, how many attributes are there per product? Twenty to 25. So it seems like there should be more. You can use things like Google Vision to auto tag products. And I think it's like, again, if you're doing this like if you make this offer, the audit, and then you get somebody that actually pays you for enrichment, and then if you do that even one time, you're going to come up with some ways to automate it, and then you do it 5 times, you're going to have 50% of the process automated, and then by the time you've done it 100 times, you're going to have the process mostly automated, and there's just going to be a few pieces that are not automatable, or that are automate resistant to automation or whatever left. Okay, so Oh yeah, this just got wilder and wilder the whole time. I hope Gemini wasn't just making shit up. The agent to agent. When Gemini or ChatGPT need information for site, they don't just scrape your HTML, they send a structured query to your MCP server. One of the most powerful ways your bot communicates with external bots is through prompt to URL mapping. Every unique user prompt, for example, I need a modest bikini for a beach wedding. And I swear all of the freaking examples are just, I mean, is that normal life? Is this the way normal people live? These sort of questions. Uh, so completely alien to my existence. When a user clicks on a result in Gemini, they are landed on a page that your bot has morphed in real time to match the exact prompt. It's generating, which again, this is so, I mean, so much of what is on here is like, yes, this is like the type of thing that I thought about like the first fucking day that I used ChatGPT. I was like, oh, you can do this. And I mean, I have been doing that. I have been making it so that well, I haven't been, it doesn't actually generate URLs. That is not something I've been doing. But in fact, I don't know how an MCP server or an LLM would even have the ability to do that. It really depends on you giving them the authority to create URLs, right? Or is it like, I suppose you can create a URL with parameters. I think I've done that before. Right. Okay. So if, maybe, hello. Uh-oh. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I think the audio is good. Okay. Yeah, and then the next one is even more crazy. Whoa, I just got a huge headache. When a user clicks a result in Gemini, they are landed on a page that your bot has morphed in real time to match that exact prompt. If a user has been talking to Gemini for 10 minutes about a trip to Brisbane and then clicks to your site, Gemini can pass the context to your on site bot via MCP connection. That is fucking wild. That's exactly what I was saying when I first discovered the whole concept of GEO. I'm still a little confused. Wait, so yeah, so it's like your bot, can be set up with access to whatever information you want to set it up with, and then you can pass that information to Gemini, basically, is the idea. Well, after also getting the context. It automatically looks for for the JSON file at this location, and then it compares your capabilities with its own. If you both support checkout, the feature is activated. While the well-known file is a technical endpoint, Google uses Google Merchant Center as a secondary discovery layer. If you have the native commerce attribute set to true in your product feed, Google's Commerce Graph flags your store as UCP compliant. I'm still not 100% sure what the product feed is, but manifests act as a router, telling Gemini exactly which specific endpoints to use for different tasks. For reasoning and data, it points to your MCP server URL. For transactions, it points to your UCP checkout API. For identity, it points to your OAuth OIDC server. Multiple brands can implement a router MCP server. Instead of Gemini connecting to 50 different servers, you provide one router URL in your manifest. When Gemini sends a request, check stock for Nike shoes. Your router script looks at the request metadata, identifies which sub store the user is interested in, and forwards the call to the correct internal API. While the manifest is the technical endpoint, Google Merchant Center acts as the searchable registry. You upload your product feed to Merchant Center and include the native commerce tree. Gemini crawls Merchant Center to find your products, sees the agent ready flag, and then uses your domain's well-known /UCB file to find blah, blah, blah. Okay. I got that. I got a little bit redundant there with the post thread posts. Okay, I'm going to go take a break, see how much money I have, if it's enough that I can get some food, come back, and then try to do the drones thread. Ah, yes, I was going to edit this for it to Agentic commerce thread. That's good enough. Okay. I'll be back to do another one in 10 minutes.